Buenos dias. Shalom. Good morning, everybody. And welcome to Morning Scroll with Pack Loudon. Before we get started, let me entertain y'all with some of this premium production while I share this live. A little warmer. Thank you. Thanks for that little listen, y'all. Appreciate it. I'll be doing my thing on the beats and whatnot. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. I just sent out a few messages to let people know this is still fairly new. The podcast is not established, but I'm building a little bit of buzz, man, because people like talk, I be talking. Today, this morning, what morning scroll is just like I'm making a play off of stroll, you know, and I'm just going through my feed and commenting and reacting on the stuff that I feel like is the most reaction or comment worthy. You dig what I'm saying? Hold on for 1 second. I don't want to have no technical difficulties. Apologies, good people. Like somebody really on her yet, but I knew I could do that right now because ain't nobody on her yet. So I'm using my laptop today, one of my laptops, and I didn't plug it up. So let me go ahead and do that right quick. So we be straight. We won't have no interruptions. I'm about to go in, right? I'm about to go in. I be going in so hard. And stuff that I be exposing, people be scared for me. They be like, man, you better be careful all that stuff you talking about, man. You can't be showing all this shit and all that stuff on the internet. If I couldn't, then I wouldn't. Mike can say that I shouldn't, but to say that I can't, obviously ain't true because I'm right here doing it. Let's get into it because look, I done already refreshed my feed, right, and went to this video. So when I go back, the stuff that was in the top of the feed is not going to be there no more. So I'm going to go back a few screens because I saw some headlines that, and there was some stuff yesterday that I had that y'all need to see. As a matter of fact, before we go any further, let's start with this. Let's start with this right here. Let me go back in my little history right quick. Because see, this was in my feed.
This has to be the biggest coincidence in U.S. history. Do people still believe in those? In 2010, a 12-year-old girl from the Bay Area started a school project to trace her roots back to her earliest ancestors. What she discovered instead would forever shake the power structures of our country. The girl found that every single U.S. president, except for one, were distant cousins related to the famous imperial ruler, King John of England. That's the same King John who signed the Magna Carta, which formed the British Parliament. Now, who can tell me in the comments the one president not related? This has to be the biggest coincidence in U.S.
Hold
history.
on. Because people will say, conspiracy, there's no proof. Check this out. Another report.
Did you know that almost all American presidents have royal ancestry? Bridget Davignon made an incredible discovery when she was only 12 years old. She found that all U.S. presidents, except Martin Van Buren, are related to King John of England. It took Bridget an estimated 500,000 documents and several months of hard work to solve
500,000 documents. So to everybody who wants to dispute that, right? Unless you done did anywhere close to the work that she done did, you want to just go off emotion and all that type of stuff, and I don't think, and this and this and that, it's not even open to conversation, right? Because I'll be telling people, they'll say something, and I say, well, prove it. I'm gonna give you the burden of proof, because if you prove it, then I'm gonna validate it. And they'll be like, what you mean prove it? I'll be like, prove it. They'll be like, well, because such and such. I didn't say it again. I didn't say it differently with more infliction. I mean, go get some sources, some credible sources. Because if you go give me a book, I'm gonna go research the author. If you go to a website, I'm gonna go research the company, the website. If you go to a YouTube page, I need to know who broadcast that and how credible they are. And then whatever they showing, I'm gonna go get the books. I'm gonna go get whatever I need to get to validate this shit. Now, what you about to see here, I did the research on it. After seeing this, well, this ain't my first time seeing it. I heard about this maybe 10 years ago. But I already kind of felt that way because I never trusted them liars anyway. I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but I don't be believing liars. The United States government ain't never been nothing but some liars. And they ain't never had a history of telling the truth that will make anybody believe what they say. That's why I think everybody just sheep. You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, we having a presidential election. Who having a presidential election? The United States government. You mean the crooked ass United States government that stole the land and formed an illegal ass country that ain't really a country? That's a corporation posing as a country with a shadow government. You mean that one? Oh, they lying. They ain't holding no motherfucking elections. Don't believe shit they say. Even if I don't know what the truth is, I know what they say ain't the truth. As long as you go, look, if America said, just automatically assume it's a lie. And you'll turn out better than the motherfuckers that believe them.
All this historical mystery is inspired by her grandfather's 60-year dedication to studying presidential genealogy. Prior to her research, genealogists had only genetically linked 22 of the presidents, but this seventh grader at that time found out that from George Washington to Barack Obama and also Donald Trump, they are all distant relatives of King John. John, born around 1166 and died in October 1216 in Newark, Nottinghamshire, England, was the King of England from 1199 to 1216. His reign was marked by significant events, including the loss of Normandy and a war with the French King Philip II, the sealing of the Magna Carta in 1215, and his portrayal as a villain in Robin Hood movies. Did you know that almost all American presidents have royal ancestry? Bridget D'Avignon made an incredible discovery when she was only 12 years old. She found that all U.S.
The sealing of the Magna Carta. Do y'all know what the Magna Carta is? The Magna Carta established the British Parliament. And on another note, I'm not going to go into it now. I'll let y'all do this research, right? The house, the royal house that he belonged to, or the family, was known as the Anjou, or the Anjou family or something, right? And they later became known as the Plantagenet because he used to wear a Plantagenet flower on his hat, right? And that became a nickname for them years later, right? The Plantagenets. But the whole thing is, though, there are several other houses that sprung out of the House of Plantagenet, like the House of Lancaster and the House of York, who had a little vicious battle going on a long time for a while for control of the UK, right? Now, one of them should ring a bell. Actually, both of those names should ring a bell, because if you look at the founding of the United States and the 13 colonies, the first capital that we had was York, New York, right? New York City was the first capital of the United States, and the state of New York has a city called Lancaster, right? So the York family, the House of York, royalty from descendants of their royalty or relatives of them established the British Parliament and the United States government, or played a role in it, right? Because the Yorks are Plantagenets, remember? They're a smaller house from the House of Plantagenet. So if all presidents are related to the Plantagenets, then it would make sense, because their family, the Yorks, are the one who established the United States. Now, we know that there was a war, right? So they say the American Revolution, but we don't know what brought about the ceasefire. We can't believe what they say in history class. If you do that, you got to be a damn fool. I'll be a fool sometimes, but I won't be no damn fool, right? So if you believe in what they teaching you in history class about the Boston Tea Party and the red coats are coming and all that shit, even a broke clock is right twice a day. So they're going to mix some truth in there, but the overall gist of it, they don't want you to get. They don't want you to know the real. And the real is that every single U.S. president is related to King John. So what does that say about your elections? Because Kamala not related to him, right? Or maybe she is. Maybe that's why she could run, right? Maybe you can run. But whatever the case, we know that everybody who's won, who's held that office, is related to him. Now, people would know that and still be sitting up here talking all this shit about elections and about candidates and who gonna win because of this and why they like this person because of that. Like y'all got cognitive dissonance or something. Cognitive dissonance. Like this one Negro. This Negro didn't want to keep on talking about there was no Atlantic slave trade, right? Because there's no proof of the ship. Show me one slave ship. Oh, they all sank and all of this stuff. He want to talk this indigenous stuff, right? But what he doesn't know is that I know when the indigenous so-called Americans came over here around 536 BC after captivity in Assyria by Salmanazar, right? During the time of King Hosea in the northern region of Israel, northern kingdom of Israel. So those so-called Indians, Native Americans, are really the 10 lost tribes of Israel, right? And the ones that remained are your African Americans, your West Indian Caribbeans, and your Haitians and stuff that remained in Judea and then later fled into Africa, right? But this Negroian, he'll say that there's no such thing as the Atlantic slave trade. We were already here. Yeah, the 10 tribes were. And then the Africans that came over here and migrated, African for lack of a better word, because the Israelites that fled into Africa and blended and mixed in with them were not Africans. They're Asiatic. They're from the Middle East, which was all dark people. You know what I'm saying? But it's a different race of people from the Africans that sold them over into slavery. People don't sold their own slavery. They own folks. They sold them because they knew that they was the black Jews and they wasn't their people. But whatever the case, he'll say that there was no slave trade, right? There's no such thing as the Atlantic slave trade. And then I highlighted for him the families and individuals and people in Africa who remained, whose families were torn apart by slavery, who know that they had wealthy landowner ancestors and uncles or whatever, a few generations back or however many generations back, that the French came and took and destroyed and killed and divided up his sons, or that the British came and did this too. They know their history. It wasn't taken from them. And they know what position they would still be in over there where they are if those men hadn't came, right? So when you say there was no slave trade, you discrediting, you're discrediting all those families, and you're not really giving no credence to what they say and their pain. You know what I'm saying? You're not being empathetic to what they went through, because those families would still hold power and wealth, and it wouldn't have been as easy for them to be colonized if there had been no slave trade. If there had been no slave trade, then they wouldn't have control of all those mines and stuff over there. All African presidents and leaders didn't sell out for a few bucks. There was a whole lot of stuff going on, right? There was a whole lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I got homeboys from Gambia who got stores over here. I got people who went to my mother's church who are from Ghana, and different people who all know that their families in Africa was torn apart by the Atlantic slave trade. Oh, you got niggas over here who don't know nothing, sitting up talking about it didn't happen. On to the next story, though. On to the next one. On to the next one. Okay, now look, hold on. There was another one that was in my feed. So they are related, right? And 22 of them. Hold on, did I show the whole thing? Let's show this again. It's pretty short. We'll run that back one more game.
This has to be the biggest coincidence in U.S. history.
No,
People
that's the
still
wrong
believe
one.
in those? In 2010, a 12-year-old girl.
It was this one. And look, and prior to this little girl doing this experiment, they had already admitted that 22 of them was related. That should be enough to ring a bell. Now I don't really know who y'all dealing with.
Did you know that almost all American presidents have royal ancestry? Bridget D'Avignon made an incredible discovery when she was only 12 years old. She found that all U.S. presidents, except Martin Van Buren, are related to King John of England. It took Bridget an estimated 500,000 documents and several months of hard work to solve this historical mystery. Inspired by her grandfather's 60-year dedication to studying presidential genealogy. Prior to her research, genealogists had only genetically linked 22 of the presidents, but this seventh grader at that time found out that from George Washington to Barack Obama and also Donald Trump, they are all distant relatives of King John. John, born around 1166 and died in October 1216 in Newark, Nottinghamshire, England, was the King of England from 1199 to 1216. His reign was marked by significant events, including the loss of Normandy and a war with the French King Philip II, the sealing of the Magna Carta in 1215, and his portrayal as a villain in Robin Hood movies. Did you know?
Okay. So now, a lot of people will see that, and in a certain environment where that is being pushed, they'll say, oh, okay, I didn't know. And they'll admit it and they'll concede that they believe that it's being true. They'll agree with me and say, oh, man, all the presidents was related. And this and this and that, right? And they'll say, damn, so they've been playing in our face this whole time. The elections is fake. Yep. And they'll thank me. And, oh, man, you so knowledgeable and this and that. And then they'll go to another circle where people talking about elections and won't tell them that. They'll sit up and entertain that bullshit conversation because they scared of the backlash, or either they want to fit in, or I don't know what it would be. But it's like they have a cognitive dissonance. It's like they go right back into that bullshit, right? Same way that other Negrodi there that I was talking about. Oh, I made that word up. Don't be tripping off the child yet. But anyway, same way he did, right? I'll show him or show people, hey, this is what Africans went through. This is their account, right? People who know that their family was killed and what happened to them, right? And he'll agree and be like, oh, I never even saw that part. I thought about that part. Yeah, right. And then he'll be riding that wave while we're around. And then he'll go right back on his Facebook, or go right back in another setting and trying to sound smart and be talking that same shit about wouldn't no slavery. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you ain't got to kiss my ass. You ain't got to agree with me just for the sake of agreeing. If you don't believe what I'm showing you, then say that. But up here agreeing and thanking me for showing you stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, you right. And then go back and I think you one of them people that just want to, these are the type of people, and it's not no one individual I'm highlighting. I got several brothers who do this, and sisters too. They just gonna say whatever they need to say to fit in whatever setting or environment they in. They go along to get along. Them type of motherfuckers. Don't always tell you what you want to hear. Those type of people are dangerous. Stay the hell away from me. But yeah, okay. Now that we got that out the way. Now that we got that out the way, let's get back to this home screen and this morning scroll. Busy Bone talks about Diddy Party's Bone Thugs' new album, deal, solo career. No, I don't need to hear about that right now. Former Rolling 40s member turned gang interventionist killed by Rolling 60 Crips in what? In Hyde Park. That's what I didn't want to hear, man. I was looking forward to the 40s and the 60s coming back together, man. The old-fashioned way. Like they used to be, man. Damn. Allen Iverson can't believe Nelly has a pair of Reeboks. Oh, somebody just said some damning information about Nelly on a video with Puffy now. He exposed the forbidden white history. American professor will lose his job for teaching this forbidden. Look, I'm gonna have to go back in my history, right, to show y'all the shit that I need to show y'all, right? I need to go back in my history to show y'all this, because this was the stuff that was in my feed before my screen got refreshed. And it's some stuff y'all don't want to miss. For real. I don't know how blown away y'all gonna be by this. Right? I don't know how blown away or taken aback you're gonna be by it. But this is what I do. And I don't just watch shit, I read. Okay. Let go.
Everyone who hates ads will be using this Chrome extension by 2025. I feel like I just found a Google cheat code. It's a Chrome extension called Pi.
Someone said that when they did the raid, I'm on them tapes, and there's multiple A-list celebrities running a on me, including certain people that are presidential.
Now, peeps, I sat down today for a super exclusive interview with one of Diddy's accusers, Adria English. She's been in the media a lot lately with serious allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, accusing him of despicable and horrendous acts. The disgraced mogul is currently in custody, housed at Brooklyn MDC, one of the most notorious prisons in the US that was also the home of Epstein, where he was mysteriously taken out. Now, this is an interview that you don't want to miss. She revealed the dark secrets of working for Diddy, the feds telling her she was found on tapes with famous politicians, Diddy having threesomes with his mom, and more. Be prepared to be floored, and make sure you watch this whole entire video.
Let me give a shout out to Lionel B for this video because I'm just reacting to somebody else's content. I do not take credit or plagiarize people's content. This is a reaction video, y'all. I did not do the research that led to this information.
How did you initially come in contact with Diddy?
Okay, it's a cute story. I'm from California. Prior, I had never been on the East Coast in my entire life. I had never been to Florida. I had never been to New York, nowhere on the East Coast. And a guy I was dating, Anthony Gallo, he's from Cali. We were both from Cali. He got an opportunity. He got scouted by a guy in LA who was a reputable scouting agent. It was initially Wilhelmina Models. And so they gave him the opportunity to come to New York for an audition. When he went out there, he ended up getting a lot of callbacks, but he was back in LA. And they said, well, you know, you're getting all these callbacks, but if you're going to model for real, we need you out here. So he had never been on the East Coast either. So he was like, and at this time, my family had found out that I had did adult movies. Now, mind you, I had an ex-boyfriend, Steve. He was my boyfriend at first, and he manipulated me into the adult film industry. I only did 8 movies in
I remember Jake Steve. Then he used to rap in some more shit. That's hella crazy. How many of y'all remember Jake Steve?
a 6-month period of my life in the year 1999, but those 8 movies in 6 months follow me to this day. And I signed a residual contract, and Jake Steve been collecting all the money. He done put me on.
She said, I only did 8 movies over 6 months of my life, and they have followed me around. Yeah, ma'am. Only 8 porno movies. Only 8. No big deal. No, do you have any kids? Try explaining that to your son when he turns 17 or 18 that you only did 8, and see if it's an only to him.
I'm everywhere. And they said he hiding out in South America. He's been collecting my money the last 20-some years. I'm the one that gave Ray J and Kim Kardashian the connect. If you look at the production team, you can see we have the same production team. You see mine was filmed first. Me, Ray J, Brandy, we all grew up in the same church, the Church of Christ. Brother Norwood, their father is my vocal coach. So that's how we already knew each other. But they got famous with theirs.
You, Brandy, and Ray J all up in the same church. You and Ray J end up at Diddy Freakoffs and doing porn. I wonder how many people from that church got similar backgrounds that got same shit in common. You see all the fuckery that be coming out of the Black Christian church?
Because Kim Kardashian had a little bigger of a name because of her dad. So when Anthony got scouted, we ended up, my family had found some member of our church, my church from 9 years old had found out I did adult movies. They brought it to the minister, who brought it to my parents. And when I came home from work, I was working as a telemetry technician in the critical care unit at Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach. And when I came home from my shift, my parents had it on the big screen.
Your
Me
parents-
with an it in my mouth.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh,
Your parents had that on there?
Porn.
This girl was doing porn and thinking her family didn't know about it. And she came home from work one day and her mother and father had it on the big screen in the house, her with a dick in her mouth. She walked into that embarrassment and they played it right there in front of her in the house. Wow. Wow. She still had trauma and flashbacks about this. She left town. I bet you did. I bet you did. Nah, be proud of it. There was no shame in your game.
The valedictorian.
You should have told him, yeah, I eat dick on camera and what? I'm getting my bag. I'm getting my money.
Literally, the sheltered one from the suburbs who had never even had sex before in their knowledge. You know,
Yeah, she's trying to clean it up. I was a valedictorian. I was the good girl. I was the sheltered one from the suburbs who had never had sex before to their knowledge, and trying to justify how like this ain't really her. But what we looking at in front of us is really you. What the fuck are you talking about? You're in denial about your own life. Bitch, you for the street.
The innocent one, their love child on the big screen with it. So when I shame my family like that,
What was that like walking into there and seeing that on the screen?
it was the worst day of my life. I still feel the memory, and it haunts me the same way Diddy haunts me to this day. I can still remember the way I felt, how my parents looked at me, you know. And then so when Anthony got the opportunity to move to New York, I was like, man, hell yeah, because I did the movies in '99, but they didn't find out until 2004. And that was the same time Anthony got asked to move to New York. So I said, man, I'm going with you. And then when we got out there, Anthony was going to go see whatever. He ended up getting an audition with Ford Models, and then Ford signed him. That was Cassie Ventura's same agency. And so we were from Cali, and we had an apartment in the middle of Manhattan. So all the models in between their go-sees and their auditions would come hang out at our apartment. And we had the weed, and that's when weed was hella illegal. So we was from Cali, we had the weed. Anthony looked good. I was working at Larry Flint's Hustler Club, so I was already the hottest stripper because Manhattan is only 11 miles, about 13 miles. I'm from Cali, the West Coast. They all the East Coast people grew up together. They don't know me and Anthony like that, so they're intrigued. I look good, he look good. It's 20 years earlier. I'm 46 right now. I'll be 47 in January. So imagine me in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? Body was extra banging, and even now, everything's real, butt real, lips real, nose real.
Bitch, you're regular now like you was regular in your 20s. Imagine me in my 20s. You was just a little light-skinned chick. You regular. How can you? You're bragging on having real body parts. That's not a flex. Lips real, nose real. Okay, so what? That's not a flex. That's the standard.
Never had a million behind me, so just imagine that.
So tell us a little bit more about how you guys actually got into doing these Diddy parties and him propositioning your dude.
Anthony is signed to Ford Models. Cassie is coming over to our apartment, hanging out. We're all friends. We actually start.
Oh, you was hanging out with Cassie?
Yeah, she would come over our apartment too, because her and Anthony were both signed to Ford Models. We were convenient right there in the middle of the city. So in between your auditions, your casting, you would come smoke weed and hang out at the bomb couple from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? We had the doorman building. We was popping. And
check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, $118 for car insurance. That's how much I was paying. Okay, I picked up the car a few months ago and
shut up.
So, so we all had our own private stories of because you know, East Coast music was a soundtrack to our lives. You know, from the West Coast, like we was fans of everybody: Mary J. Blige, Biggie, 112, Craig Mack, Mace. You know, Black Rob. You know, Dirty Money, Diddy. You know, everybody. You know. Lil Kim, shout out to Lil Kim. I got to meet her with T-Pain. She's very nice. She was very nice to me. So when we got there, we all had our own like fantasy. When me and Anthony got there, we had our own vision of what we would do if we ever met these certain people, Jay-Z, Diddy, and all that. And then Cassie did too. Her and Anthony were inspiring models. And Cassie wanted to sing and stuff. Anthony, he just more wanted to model, smoke weed, look good, get his dick sucked type shit. Cassie, she wanted to model, but she wanted to sing. She wanted to be an entertainer. And so we all had dreams to meet Diddy. So then fast forward, Anthony ends up getting called to audition for Diddy for the Sean John campaign. So he never invites me along to his auditions or his go-sees, but this particular day he invited me because he knew I was a fan. Like he knew I was gonna be mad he went to the damn thing and you didn't take me. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to meet people and stuff. I was already a dancer. I was already moving and shaking. I already had a gang of athletes and whatever. But the music industry, because I rap and sing, that's where I wanted to get into. So long story short, we sitting in the waiting room and one of his homeboys that frequents our apartment comes out of the thing and he's looking mellow mad like, shh. And so low key, me and Anthony laughing. We like, he must not have booked it. Like he's salty. Like we laughing to each other, like, you know. And then they called him. And then when they called him, I'm like, yeah, you got this, my nigga. Like, you know, I'm dapping on you. And then that's when two-way pages was out. So when they called, I flipped my two-way up. So I'm on my two-way lining up some money for later on. All of a sudden, I just hear, man, fuck that. And the door flew up and it was, I'm like, what? And like Anthony is a very good looking guy. His mother is, African American lady, and his father is an Italian man. And actually the wine, Gallo wine, that's his family. And allegedly his dad got like basically shunned from his family for choosing up on a black woman. And he went on to have a few kids, and all of them are boys, and they're all very good looking guys. But his dad chose to be poor to follow his heart and be with a black woman. And so allegedly, his dad still to this day rides a bike in Northern California. He's from Northern California. He had moved down to LA. And so even though he was a good looking guy mixed with black and Italian, he wasn't no punk. Like it wasn't no gay in him. It wasn't no, bitch in him.
No offense to nobody, but if I'm Italian and I come from money, right, and I'm tied in, ain't no way I'm disgracing my family and my race and going against that to mess with nobody from another race. I wouldn't do that regardless of what group I was a part of. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna stay with the home team.
I'm like a thug, but he a pretty boy. So like, I guess they underestimated him, thinking that because he was so good looking that he go that way. So he was more than offended. He was on some gangster shit. Like he got me fucked up. So when we were in the elevator, I was like, "Man, what happened?" He was like, "Man," he gave me a look.
He was more than offended. He was on some gangster shit, but he ended up going back. But y'all ended up going back. Wasn't no motherfucking gangster shit.
Like, man, shut the. And I was like, all right, because it was people in the elevator. So I was like, all right. So when we got, out the elevator, I'm like, what's up? I'm like, why are you tripping? He was like, man, nigga asked me to suck his dick. I said, who asked you to suck his dick? He said, Puffy. So we was calling Puffy back then. Puff. I said, no, he didn't. And it broke my heart, broke an arm. And I was like, nah. And he was like, he asked me to suck his dick. I was like, oh. I was like, well, then I see why, you know what I mean? For sure. Like, it's a wrap. He's like, I don't need that job that bad. So I was like, for sure. You know what I mean? We got in the cab. We went back to our apartment. His homeboy ended up coming through. We smoked blunts. We laughed at it. We was like, that, you know what I mean? But then because I was a dancer, I'm also in the regular go-go club scene. And I ran into Tamiko Thomas, who ended up being, I call it a handler, one of Diddy's handlers, wranglers. And she approached me with opportunity to help me and Anthony out. If I would dance at Diddy's white parties, Anthony can go ahead and book the campaign. I agreed to dance at the white parties. Anthony booked the Sean John campaign. He was everywhere. He was on billboards, buses, bus stops, cabs, in the magazine, all at the same damn time. He was everywhere. But right now, if you go and try to Google any one picture of that Sean John campaign, Diddy done scrubbed it all. I can't even hardly find a picture.
Now, did Diddy remember him whenever he eventually got that gig? Was he like, oh yeah, I remember you?
Yeah, because when he booked it, after they had like a lounge party where it was like a celebration, like, hey, the new campaign, let's all, and it was a very small lounge, like only the models was there, the, you know, creative director, the photographer, Diddy, you know, a couple other people, and that's it. And so you went over it. So it was kind of like, thank you for letting your girl work my parties. You know what I mean? You know, you came out great, my nigga. You know, he didn't say my nigga. He said, what did he say? You came out great, my guy.
Let me fast forward to the part that's really interesting when she starts to talk about her specific interaction with Diddy. It's something that y'all need to hear, and it's a common theme between her and all of the other victims. Let's see.
Nice to meet you on Puff. Because when we get faded, like, it's like he come out in us, like, and that's forever. That's why it's haunting us.
That's where I'm going.
Today.
That's where I'm going.
That's not allegedly. We were all doped up. And to this day, in his house, like, for us to be checkpoints, like, my stage was over by the bar, you know, to me.
So he can get video of certain.
No, he wouldn't say go over there so I can get video. He would hire me to work as a go-go dancer. They had 3 stages, you know, positioned throughout his mansion. It was where he lived. It was his residence. It wasn't a club. It wasn't a lounge. And so we just makeshift stages, you know, 3 stages set up in his house, like, for us to be checkpoints. Like, my stage was over by the bar. You know, Tamiko's stage was over by the food. You know, old girl's checkpoint was over there by the rooms if you wanted to go do something. So it's like, I think he kind of told the guests, hey, if you want to drink, just look for a stage and you're going to find something you need. You know what I mean? So we were elevated above the crowd. And so, we were instructed to only drink from certain liquor bottles. It's the girls' champagne, it's the guys' champagne. Girls don't drink the guys' champagne. Girls don't drink the boys' champagne. And all the champagne was laced with ketamine, like horse tranquilizer, ecstasy. That's not allegedly. We were all doped up. And to this day, I believe we all, and I know I do, have a chemical imbalance. Like, whenever I drink anything, it could be 1 glass of wine, all of a sudden I'm a stripper, I'm a P-star, like, on my mind, I just black out and I'm that. I'm She Diddy.
Oh, wow.
You know, Orlando Brown running around like I'm Puff. He not really acting like it to everybody else. Everybody looking like he want attention, like he wilding, like, but it's something about when he drugged you that he stood over you, like, infusing himself into you while you laid there unconscious.
Soul harvesting. She said after Puffy drugged you, he would stand over you and infuse himself into you while you lay there unconscious. He's soul harvesting.
And it's like it became a part of you, because after a certain amount, they started calling me She Diddy.
She said after a certain amount, they started calling her She Diddy, and Diddy started to come out in her, and she started going by the name She Diddy and taking on his alter ego. Wow. Yep, that's a demon.
Like, man, she act like Diddy. She just like Diddy. And hence, I've been She Diddy for the last 20 years. So I feel Orlando when he be like, man, I'm Puff. It's nice to meet you, I'm Puff. Because when we get faded, like, it's like he come out in us, like, and that's forever. That's why it's haunting us to this day.
How do you think he was able to, you know, but besides all the things you guys were laced with, you think he put maybe his DNA or something kind of strange into that concoction?
Yeah, the reason why he like to take, we have a chakra in our anus, you know, guys and girls, and your chakra is a pathway to your soul. So because he's working for Lucifer, his goal is to take souls to hell. So that's why straight men, he wanted to turn them gay. You know, even if a gay man was gay, he wanted to make him be a pedophile and be with a minor.
He said even if it was a straight man, he wanted to make him gay. She said men and women both have a chakra in their booty hole. Well, you only have 3 chakras, but I know what she's trying to say. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's definitely a thing for them in that world. And she also said that if a man was already gay, he would try to make him have sex with a minor. I don't know how many of y'all been following my movement and watch my videos, but I said the same demon that will make somebody be with the same sex is the demon that will make you touch a child. It just hasn't pushed you to that level yet, but it's not going to stop unless you stop it. So whatever you're willing to do, you do it, it's going to try to push you to the next level. And if you do that, it's going to try to push you to the next level. And it goes like this: same sex, underage, bestiality, animals. Y'all better go study Babylon, the mystery religion Babylon, Baal worship, and the Illuminati. And I'm not just talking about on the surface. I mean, go find the roots and all the practices and all that, and you will see that it all connects, right? It's not a coincidence that she's saying this stuff, because people from whole different backgrounds, different settings, different times, and with different ideologies will say the exact same thing about their religion. Even if they don't know each other, don't come from the same country, didn't even live in the same era. It could be somebody from the 1400s in motherfucking Europe, and they're going to have similar accounts when dealing with people who come from this secret order. The same rituals.
Holding revolver by Standard Manufacturing has been officially released today. No documents or procedures are required.
His thing was to take the soul. So that's why after a certain amount of time, he would make an announcement like, you better go on home, because, you know, the party really about to crack now.
They said he would make an announcement. So
and all of a sudden, everybody's demon really would come out. And that's on God. Like,
and then all of a sudden, everybody's demon would come out. Like the other girl said in the video, they start playing these beats like rave music and these flashing lights and stuff. And as you see in this yard right here, that's the outside. One of the other girls who was on the video described the party in the backyard, but the real exclusive parties being in the house. If they come up to you and bring you that white pair of slippers, them linen slippers or whatever to put on, that means you can go in the house, and that's where you're going to go in and see all of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't make it into the house. A lot of people knew what was going in the house, but because they didn't go in, hold themselves guiltless, like I didn't participate in none of that, and no, I just went to this party and I left at this time and all that, but you knew all that shit was going on.
Have you ever gotten like so faded or drunk where your body is doing stuff, but in the morning you have literally no recollection? Like if it ain't from your homeboy showing you it, like, man, I recorded you, nigga. If it wasn't for him showing you, you would swear up and down you didn't do that shit. But then when he show you the video, you're like, what the? I jumped in the pool. I don't even know how to swim, my nigga. What? Like, I don't even remember that bitch. Like, what? It was like that.
That's that blackout drinking.
Right, but he had imagine everybody blacked out though. It doesn't matter if you a celebrity or. That's why J-Lo left the country. He had her sticking bottles and stuff up in my homegirl, and she was only 11 years old.
Okay, but this girl just said he would have everybody blacked out on this drug, celebrities or whoever, to where they didn't remember what they was doing. She said that's why J-Lo left the country. She was sticking bottles and liquor bottles up into an 11-year-old girl at one of Puffy's parties. 11 years old. J-Lo. Sticking liquor bottles and stuff inside of this 11-year-old girl at one of Puffy's parties. That's why J-Lo just left the country.
She the girl that they put on the private jet. They did her with the jelly beans. They put on the private jet.
They doped her up with the jelly beans and put her on a private jet and took her.
They took her to the studio in New York and then had the nerve to dress her up in a D&G sweater.
Oh, I remember this picture. She's on a picture right here sitting on Puffy lap in the D&G sweater at the studio in New York. And she got makeup on and stuff. No, that girl ain't 11. This person on this video is not 11. She might have been 11 when that first stuff happened that this lady's talking about. But on this picture right here, she's not 11. But she's saying that she's underage. They got her face blurred out. She's sitting on Puffy lap with a Dolce & Gabbana tank top on. Wow.
Do her hair, put makeup on her, and take a picture like a trophy. She only 11 years old in that picture, and that's not allegedly.
No, she's not.
And then the same girl.
J-Lo was messing around with.
Man, there's so many. I drop names on the neck, man. On there, we talking about Diddy right now. But it's and then that's the same girl that in the magazine is laying on the table butt naked with fruit and food and stuff off of her, and we all eating off of her. I sucked the strawberry off her.
Okay, the same girl is the one laying on the table right here naked, which is on this video. You can see it. Her titties out, everything out. She butt naked with vegetables and food on top of her. The girl said we all eating off of her. I sucked the strawberry off her titty and didn't even know that she was underage, but she was underage. She was 14. I wonder if that's the girl from the other video, Allison, who said that she was one of them kids at their party. And she also said in a whole nother video that they put them on the table and put food on top of them. And look, I see several celebrities sitting right here, standing right here, right there. Go Michael Bivins. Michael Bivins eating off of her or standing here with a drink toasting, or was that a candle in his hand? Something. There's Michael Bivins right there. This other dude, he a celebrity too. I recognize his face, but can't remember his name. Might have seen him on shit. Wow. Wow.
She 14 years old laying on that table. She had a body like a grown woman.
14,
you don't think anybody's looking at that thinking that's a kid laying there. You're assuming it's a grown woman. So he made everybody be with a minor.
She's saying he made everybody be with a minor unknowingly. And that them people didn't know that was a young girl. Some of them knew. I ain't buying that. I'm not buying that. I'm sorry. I'm not. Tell that to somebody who don't know no better. I seen how the motherfuckers move.
You know, against your will, and he recording the shit. Same girl needed to do a number 2 on stage. She performing. She told him, I need to go off stage. I need you to bathroom. He told her no. She ended up shit on stage. It was a wet. Went everywhere. And Denzel Washington grabbed up his wife, mobbed up the Diddy, and was like, man, you don't respect nobody. Had to run up out there. That's the incident they're talking about with Denzel Washington had to run up out of there.
So that's why Denzel and his wife left that party, because of that incident.
And she shit on stage, and she was only 14 years. He didn't know she was 14. It was just the fact that she shit on stage and in front of everybody. And then Diddy took her to a room and beat her ass because she shit on stage. Then he would only give her water baths and not let her wash with soap. I'm gonna say allegedly because she's still Jane Doe right now. I'm gonna say allegedly. You know what I mean? It's allegedly. But she wants a DNA on 2 of his kids. They took 2 babies out of her. They kept her locked up and took.
He had the girl from 11 to 14 years old locked up. They took 2 babies out of her. She wants a DNA. This is why Denzel Washington got mad and stormed out of the board of the party, because the young girl said that she had to shit. She was on stage dancing and Puffy wouldn't let her get off. So she shitted on herself. The girl said it was a wet one and it got everywhere. And Denzel Washington got mad and grabbed his wife and stormed out of there like, nigga, you don't respect nobody, because the girl shitted on stage in front of everybody because he wouldn't let her go to the bathroom. And Puffy took her to the back and beat her ass after that. And only let her take water baths, would not let her wash with soap. That's crazy. So why would you want somebody laying up trifling around you with possibly skin rashes and irritations that could get an infection from feces and ain't really clean? You know, water makes germs multiply. The one, she was between 11 and 14 when he had her, I guess. She was 14 on this one tape the girl's talking about. She was 14 when it happened, right? But the people in the party allegedly didn't know she was a minor because she had a body like a grown woman. But she's saying she knew. But how trifling do you got to be to even want somebody around you or be with somebody or have somebody there who's shitted on themselves and didn't wash up with soap? That means she's not clean. You finna touch her? You finna have people eating off her? Like, was that before or after? Like, what the fuck going on here? You that nasty? You like to play in shit, nigga? Well, we know you like backdoor action, so you must do like playing in shit.
They had her babies at the house. The 2 babies they took out of her stomach. That's not allegedly.
Damn.
And allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, she had a 3 with Diddy and his own mama / auntie, and she had a 3 with Nelly and Diddy. That's not.
She just said the same little girl had a threesome with Nelly and Diddy. She said, I'm sorry, Ashanti. I love y'all new baby, y'all new couple of what's going on. She finna say that next because I saw this yesterday. She was like, baby, it was 20 years ago. I'm sorry. It happened. Got Nelly right here on camera on blast. Do you hear me, baby?
Not allegedly.
No.
Allegedly.
She said not allegedly.
Sorry, Ashanti. I love you, Ashanti.
Sorry, Ashanti.
I love you, Ashanti.
Ooh.
Congratulations on the baby.
Then the bitch said, congratulations on the baby. I think they just dropped this type of bomb. Sorry, Nelly, because I'm from St. Louis and I went to your school, got the degree right over there from the Battle Rock Exchange Institute by Nelly. And I don't know, for me to be showing this and I'm from your city, hey, I ain't say it. Look, I'm just sharing the information.
I love y'all together. It was 20 years ago. Don't get mad at 20. We talking about 20 years ago. So don't get emotional. We just telling our truth. People, please don't get mad.
Look, so it's because it was 20 years ago. She's supposed to brush it under the rug and not care that her man took dick in the ass and was with a little girl. She's supposed to not care. You see how these people are? You just as bad. I hope she don't think because she coming on her doing this video and telling it all and talking about she was manipulated and played and stuff that she don't hold herself guiltless.
It's some of y'all's favorites. It's gonna kill y'all. It's gonna devastate y'all when you hear names involved, because we all grew up on these people. We all love these people. We'd have never thought.
And she finna say that the feds came to her and told her that she's on some of them tapes and that she getting a train ran on her by Donald Trump and some other people. This girl I heard to get an interview. She said they came to her and told her, yeah, we got you on them tapes. And she don't really remember all of it because of how doped up she was.
These people would have been involved in the things that they're involved in. We're just telling our truths, everybody. And it was 20 years ago. So please don't judge us or say we lying. We're being nice enough to let y'all know what's going on from an insider point of view. If you were not even there, don't tell somebody they lying when you weren't even there.
We lying if you wasn't even there.
And fans love to say, you know, that people are capping or people.
That's all I need to hear. I ain't even finna go no more into that. I done heard enough. It is what it is. Oh no, she finna expose Trump. Hold on.
Just coming up with stories. Now hold on. Before we move forward, I'm still stuck on. You said Diddy and his mom and his auntie.
Diddy's mom is really his auntie. Has been claiming to be his mom this whole time. She's the one with the white nails. That's why he has that fetish.
Let's say she the one with the white nails, and that's why he has that fetish of white nails. Because she been messing with him since he was a little boy. Wow. Or says what?
Him since he was adolescent, because his daddy got killed when he was a baby. As soon as he had adolescent, he resembled his dad. So she started him. She's the one that picked his head up initially. That's why. Oh, allegedly. I might be talking too much.
Nah, go ahead. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
If you didn't see it on the news last night, listen up. There's a new 2024 safe driver subsidy or rebate.
We loving this. We loving this.
Yeah, but you know, allegedly that's why he took Kim Porter out, because he has sex with his daughters. Allegedly,
he has sex with his daughters.
The whole family has sex.
The twins.
The same girl I'm telling you about, that the Jane Doe, the 11 and 14-year-olds, the same girl he made strap Justin Bieber down, and she had to strap him down while Diddy and two of his sons took turns, and she had to sit there and watch.
So the same little 11-year-old girl, 11 to 14 when he had her, whatever, I don't remember the age when she happened. She had to help strap Justin Bieber down. They forcibly raised Justin Bieber. He didn't just dope him and then just finesse him. Strapped him down while Diddy and two of his sons had their way with him. Him and two of his sons. He got his kids participating in this shit.
You started with Justin when he was young. And Justin Bieber was crying and begging to be let up. And when she went to unloosen him, Diddy socked her in the face.
And it said when she went to go unloosen the little boy, Justin Bieber, to let him up, Diddy socked the girl in the face. Even though Justin was Esau, that shit was
in front of Justin Bieber. So we trying to get with Justin because he would cooperate. Allegedly. Justin, get at me, Justin. We be confidential. We ain't got to tell the press, nobody. Holler at me, Justin. I'll put y'all together. She was there, you was there. I was already out of it. She told me that story, but Justin, I got you.
Yeah. Also, you saying Diddy and Nelly was in bed together?
She's had a threesome with Diddy and Nelly. Yeah, it's the same Jane Doe. This Jane Doe was around from 11 years old to about 15 years old.
She was around
had born 2 kids.
Had 2 kids by.
I'm not gonna say which one she believe are hers. That he's been raising. You know what? On a side note, where is the white girl?
Right.
Where's the white girl that he adopted?
I got asked about that today earlier in the interview. I think her name is Ava Combs.
Where is she? They said, oh, the twins are staying with one of Kamara's friends, or who were Kim Porter, whoever. The son's been in New York and back and forth to LA. Where's the white girl that they was online bragging and proud that they saved her life and everything? Where is the white girl?
She done disappeared.
Ava. Where's Ava? I want to call her the white girl. Shout out to my white people.
Exactly.
My mom's half white. I love white people. I'm white. It's white in me. Where's Ava? Everybody, can we do a campaign? Everybody, hashtag where's Ava?
Where's Ava? We need to get some shirts made too.
Right. Where's Ava? Mask, all that. Booty shorts. We can twerk to it. All that.
Look at this hoe. She said, "Where's Ava?" The dude said, "They said we need to get some shirts made that say where's Ava, masks, hats, everything." This bitch said booty shorts. We could twerk to it. All that. Is there any end for these hoes to this madness? I can't believe this helper just said that.
You know what I'm saying? I got
you.
Man,
that's to be continued.
boy, you done gave us some
No,
jaw
continue.
dropping
Shit.
information so far, man. This is whoa.
Like Black
Whoa.
Rob, shout out to Black Rob. Whoa.
Now tell us a little bit about how he ended up putting you with Jacob the Jeweler, and tell us how that Jacob the Jeweler story
Yeah,
went
so the
down.
first party I did, it was above board, you know, it was I networked. Excuse me, I saw everybody. I was there front line, like, you know, I was calling back home to the Cali people, like, hey, you'll never believe this, like for real, like, and then next party, it was like, yeah, you want to rap, you want to sing, right? You dance at the club, right? He started out like he was pointing me in the right direction, because everybody's been to the strip club, and every girl that's been a stripper knows you love the guys that come in, and if they're not the ones spending money, they point you to their homeboy that is. Have you ever seen a bachelor party come in and they be like, it's not me, but get him, he's the one paying for everybody. So it was kind of like he did that, like he took the mindset that I had of being a dancer, of like, while you at my parties, I'm gonna point you in the right direction, you take care of them, and I'm gonna put you on. That's how I understood it. Coercion of the heart. And because I wanted to be on so bad, and he was actually real, Puffy. It wasn't like it was Puffy's assistant. It was like real Puffy saying it. I believed it. And I'm like, I had already been manipulated
More reason not
by
to
Jake
believe
Steed and did, movies that got me nowhere. I was dancing at Larry Friend's Hustler Club only because me and Anthony Gallo, I got robbed for everything. And it was go back to Cali, broke with everybody laughing, or you start dancing. That's how I ended up starting to dance. I'm dancing. We have a nice lifestyle. We got a doorman building, you know what I mean? But Diddy said, I just got to basically do the same thing I've already done that's got me nowhere, and it's going to get me somewhere. Coercion of the heart. I was with it. But then as he kept adding on, so that night I was asked to wear a black dress at a white party, but I didn't think nothing of it. Like, he always supplied the uniform. That's another thing. In the Vibe magazine, let me go back to Vibe magazine real quick. I never signed a release. I wasn't paid anything. I didn't even know I was going to be in Vibe magazine. I woke up to Anthony getting a phone call from one of his model homeboys, like the door for us. Right there was a newsstand. The audacity I found out later. Another reason why they put me in the Vibe magazine is so all the guys who wanted extras would know who to look for at the parties and to laugh at me, because once I found that out, I've been living my life for the last 20 years not knowing that had even happened to me. And after they drugged me and I was unconscious, the Fed said, well, allegedly, I'm not gonna say, someone said that when they did the raid, I'm on them tapes and there's multiple A-list celebrities running a train on me, including certain people that are presidential.
And on that note, remember the other little girl, Allison, who was in the video that said she was one of the kids at that party who was trapped by the Riverside County Child Protective Services? And they had her as a party favor at Hugh Hefner's house for Puffy's party. That girl also said that it wasn't going to be no election because the feds got the tape, and the people that y'all love and that y'all want to vote for is on the tape. And here we have a picture of Trump with Puffy. And this lady says that she's on the tape. The feds said, well, her getting a train ran on her by somebody presidential. It's funny how they didn't hurry up and release those tapes before he became president, though. They didn't ever put that shit out before the election. They show protecting that motherfucking information. Anywho, yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to the motherfucking Yeah, what's next? Because I'm about to get ready to wrap it up in a minute. Soviet guards. Another assassination attempt on Triori. Russia sends massive military force to Burkina Faso. Also, the Soviets going to come help the homeboy out. Good. They didn't try to kill him again, baby. The president of Burkina Faso, who's standing up for us. Haitian Jack took Diddy's watch off his wrist. This girl say dick is a gift. Hold on.
I'm gonna be honest with you, men. 99.99% of the time when we text y'all some bullshit like, babe, you don't got enough time for me. You don't see me enough. I want to hear from you more. Do you know we're just yearning for some penis? 9 times out of 10, we just came off our period or we just got into some bullshit, had a long day at work. Not saying you have not, but we feel like we just frustrated. And the only—
Shut up.
Oh, Jack was a special kind of gangster, but was he a murderer? No. Was he a guy that put a hole in you? Absolutely.
Was he an extortionist?
Yeah, but I think, I've heard stories of Jack taking watches off, like in the beginning, the early days, taking watches off guys like Puff, Jay-Z and stuff like that. What's true and what's not true, I don't know.
Wait. You just said, is that a fact? He took a watch off a Puff. Do you know?
I think that's true. I think before he got Wolfie and those guys, according to Jack too, Wolf saved Puffy on more than one occasion, more than just from the Atlanta situation. People are going to have a hard time understanding the kind of relationship I have with Jack. I really respected him as a gangster, but did he hurt people? Yes.
LL Cool J reveals he was an owner at FUBU. Oh, he wasn't just a spokesmodel.
Of course.
So at what point did you become an owner of FUBU, and why haven't we heard more?
I just didn't really talk about it.
Why?
Because it wasn't important. Damon and them came to me. They stood outside my house for 2 weeks or something. And I, love them and appreciate them and respect them and said, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? They know it. They'll come on here and confirm it.
LL had just, we begged him to do a deal with us, and LL is an absolute amazing partner and celebrity spokesperson. He's really dedicated to it.
The hat, the FUBU hat in the Gap commercial.
Yeah.
There was no pushback on the set from the.
Yeah, there was. They was like, oh, the hat and this. I said, no, I'm an owner. Oh, so I can clear it, and boom, and now we, you know what I'm saying?
So he says for us, by us on the low in the Gap commercial. They spend $30 million basically airing a FUBU commercial.
Ready to go for us, by us. How easy is this? Fall into the gap.
You own it?
No, that was gangster. That was gangster. Couldn't do nothing about it. I like that. See how he finessed Gap? Biggie paid Mace to write Crush on You for Lil' Kim. Oh man, look him with right.
Mace is broke. So Big says, give Mace a check. And he's gonna write for C's. Right? He's gonna write records for C's. Mace comes back with a record called Crush on You for Little C's album. This was a Little C's Big unpaid Mace. I think we paid him $50,000, $7,500 a record, right? He made 6 records, right? So he comes back with Crush on You. It's 3 verses with Little C's on it. That record is by the time it was time to finish Kim's album, Big says, put the version with Little Caesar's version on Kim's album, and because we're gonna help break. C's. Mace is broke. So Big says, give.
How many numbers the C's do? Did he even go gold? Did he even go gold? They should have never given the Dallas Mavericks Klay Thompson. Ain't nobody studying Klay Thompson. Woman outsmarts girlfriend after she tried to use him. I mean, boy, friend outsmarts woman after she tries to use him. That's not surprising. What is Project 2025? Y'all need to go do that research on your own. We ain't even finna get into that. We ain't even got that kind of time. But note that Project 2025 is coming. The impact of Jewy's 400 Degrees album, classic. Yes, big impact. 50 Cent on a lesson learned from being outsmarted by Master P. Let's see.
But P ain't so much of a hustler. He was there in the very beginning.
I was the first one to put 50 Cent on tour. I paid for his tour, his first tour.
He could see that I was going where I was going. There's no room to do a deal, but there's room to do a deal.
He came, he gave me the money for the 8 shows, right? We did 4 of them. He said, oh man, something happened. We got to have to take a break.
He did a few, broke. We take a break, we come back, we'll finish the rest up.
Came back to do the other 4. I had already sold 2 million.
At today's price, huh?
He had already paid me, so I had to do the shows. But
He put them last 4s together around you.
He knew, baby.
He was sophisticated enough to understand how to do that. Some people feel jerked. I honored the deal because I didn't feel jerked. I learned from it.
Okay.
If you go, oh no, I'm like, oh shit. See, that was it.
He had a hot record. I had the money to put out for the tour. I put out for the tour.
But P,
Smart man. Yeah, as soon as you blow up, I'm gonna have smart man. Damn. He did them first 4 to help get him even hot because he was hot, but he knew he was gonna blow. But I'm gonna get them other 4 after you do blow because I'm gonna make more off of that than I did off them first 4. Yeah. I wouldn't say he outsmarted 50. He taught him something. Monogamy isn't what it used to be. That's true. Jadakiss tells Jeff T. Epper's story of collab with Allen Iverson and Reebok. Cool on that. Running out of time. I want to get to the substance. Most feared inmate. This is what really happens to women in prison. He isn't normal. Trey Mann, the next Allen Iverson. So they say. Do he got hops like AI? Okay, let's see. We're about to get ready to wrap it on up. Israel exposed. This is pretty short. The first time reaction, Notorious B.I.D. Lyrics incriminating P. Diddy reacting to Notorious B.I.G. beef. What? Younger man kept clapping her cheeks and dumping her. So, nobody cares. I want to share one more thing with y'all before I go. I'll go back into my history real quick. Share one more thing with y'all before I go. This video kind of long. We're not going to have time.
What's your job? What do you do?
To watch this whole thing.
How much do you earn as a software engineer?
So I'm
like
skipping through this. I'll be skipping through this, hitting the key points too.
Humility and groundedness. This idea is not new.
Seniors, if you were born before 1969, you can qualify for the
You're about selling your soul for fame and fortune.
To a demonic agenda. Now, I'm only curious. Is real, possession is real, black magic is real. There are forces we cannot see in our realm. Bro, all I'm saying is this. A lot of people are saying that there were a lot of symbols throughout Kamala's campaign that went unnoticed, but have direct correlation to a demonic agenda. Now, I'm only curious to see what evidence they have to bring to the table. So we're about to hop into this video. Make sure you guys do leave a like down below and subscribe if you're new. But let's get into it, y'all.
Detroit.
Another rapper.
What up, though? I'm here tonight for a couple of important reasons.
One of the titles on his record is just called Evil. One is called Lucifer, and one is called Antichrist.
They try to come and deal with you on a friendship level, and it's very calculated. It's done intended to disarm you, to make you get comfortable with these people and allow their suggestions in and try to make you forget that this is business.
For years now, the music industry has been pushing a subliminal message. This messaging is peddled out by giant music machines in the name of art and free thinking, but others call it the Satanic Panic. Regardless, there's a deeper discourse here about selling your soul for fame and fortune. And now, some artists are finally exposing the truth of the music industry, even artists who were previously blinded by the industry. But before we can expose the industry, we need to see how deep its roots are and how strongly they've embedded this message into our psyche, starting with one of the biggest artists in the world.
Now, they'll sit up and say and make excuses for why they do stuff like this about being playful, or that just meant this or just meant that, right? But you're showing one eye, like the all-seeing eye, just like when they do this, right? That's representation. You're throwing up the horns, and then you got them up to your head while you're covering up the other eye. So he's showing like 3 symbols in one.
Eminem and his new album, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace. It started with a fake obituary for Slim Shady, the alter ego or evil twin of Eminem, published in the May 13th issue.
It's so crazy to me how most of the demonic rappers and artists that there are have an alter ego. I mean, you have Nicki Minaj who has her alter ego, Roman. You have Beyonce who has her.
Roman was a real person. He wrote Rosemary's Baby. Roman Polanski, he wrote Rosemary's Baby. And he was convicted of having sex with a 13-year-old girl. Well, no, he pled guilty to a lesser charge of, but yeah, he was doing all type of stuff with a young girl. He moved his ass to Europe. And not only that, but his girlfriend participated in the Helter Skelter murders that Charles Manson is locked up for when they killed them Hollywood celebrities. Roman's girlfriend participated in that, right? Now, if you've ever seen Rosemary's Baby, then you know how he aligns spiritually, right? And yeah, that's who Nicki Minaj claimed that she was possessed by, the spirit of Roman, a little boy who, whenever you're dealing with the occult and you're dealing with the Baphomet in that world, duality is going to always be a part of it. Because remember, Baal is half cow, half man. The Baphomet, half goat, half man. Mermaids, half man, half fish. There's always going to be that duality because they want to mix different seeds. And then there's going to also be a sexual duality, male and female. The Baphomet has both organs. Baal has both sex organs, right? And in that mystery religion, Babylon, all of that is legal. So you have the half animal, half man because they're into bestiality. You have both organs because they're into either sex, having sex with any sex, and they're also into pedophilia.
Her alter ego, Sasha Fierce. You have Eminem who has his alter ego. Beyonce.
Sasha Fierce was a real person who lived too, a witch in Oregon who was sentenced to death in the United States and burned at the stake.
Literally said that before she goes on stage, her alter ego takes over her like a spirit, a possession on stage. Literally said it from her words. Let's continue.
the Detroit Free Press. In the photo, Eminem is dressed in overalls and a hockey mask as his Slim Shady character. And as country artist John Rich mentioned, the album track list boldly includes Antichrist, Lucifer, and Evil, along with showing Eminem in a body bag. And the message is not subtle. In the song Lucifer, he calls himself a lunatic and says that his mother spawned Lucifer. He goes on to talk about...
Bam. And this is the guy that you want at your presidential election? Right. Let's go forward some more. Okay, talk about these celebrities. Look at this picture here. Hold on.
Hey, Meta, remind me who's on my guest list.
Here's who's on your guest list. Tinashe.
It's about to go up.
Hey, Meta, which of these shots should I take?
You could try to hit the...
Prepare you to come up with different and unique ways to talk about pain and suffering. Instead, the audience is just our...
Hold on. I need to go back to this one picture. It's very important. Very important. This. Notice a common theme in all of these pictures. The first one on the top left, right? Why would Nicki Minaj need to be doing that on the picture? Is she swagger jacking? Is she copying off of her? Does she not know that somebody already used that in the picture? What's the significance of doing that, right? Why is on the bottom left, is that Cassie doing it or somebody else? Then on the bottom right, you have Lady Gaga, who openly follows a spirit cooker. That Lady Abramovich, or whatever that Lady Gaga pledges all her allegiance to, is a straight witch who does rituals with pig's blood and semen and sex ritual sacrifices out of this spell book that she got that was written by Aleister Crowley, the head of the Church of Satan, right? So we know this lady's demonic, right? And Lady Gaga follows her, and Lady Gaga is doing that, throwing up a demonic symbol. And here you have all these other celebrities doing the same thing. Now, even though the ones that all means the same. When Beyonce's doing it with that that diamond, that represents the same thing, the all-seeing eye. The one that with that Egyptian symbol also represents the pituitary gland.
Wouldn't artistry require you to come up with different and unique ways to talk about pain and suffering? Instead, the audience is bombarded with just one kind of message. Beyonce, for example, is known to incorporate certain hand gestures and symbols in her performances and music videos. One of the most popular symbols is the triangle hand gesture, often associated with the Illuminati.
There it is, the all-seeing eye on the top of it. That was the same thing that they was representing on all them pictures when they was doing that.
Miley Cyrus, especially in the early 2010s, embraced an edgy persona that included a variety of provocative imagery, like the use of certain costumes, gestures, and props in her performances. Artists like Lady Gaga and Rihanna have also used similar provocative symbols in their music videos and stage sets. And in May 2024, Madonna was accused of showcasing incredibly disturbing acts on stage.
Look at the crosses right there. Now, what does religion have to do with that?
Without warning the audience. We're also getting similar messages in milder ways. For example, in Billie Eilish's song, All the Good Girls Go to Hell, she sings about...
Right.
To ask God for permission first. Is highly more powerful than the ultimate.
Those things at such a high level, it's impossible to look away from it.
Forces are more powerful.
Them to do.
And this negative messaging has better press. Stars like Beyonce, Eminem, Doja Cat, Sam Smith, and others have huge record labels backing up their provocative lyrics and videos. giving them money and expansive reach to ensure their songs stay on top of the charts. All of this has led to the misconception that negative forces are more powerful.
Massive record labels, massive radio play, massive budgets to push and promote and manipulate media and get his song out there. You know, these guys have all these massive budgets, the entertainment value, the ability to produce those things at such a high level, it's impossible to look away from it. You know, it's like boom, pow, huge, special effects, all this stuff, and everybody's just mesmerized, and it's going right into them.
Biblically speaking, of course, dark forces are not more powerful than the ultimate good. In Scripture, even when Satan wanted to test Job, he had to ask God for permission first. This highlights that evil is not on par with the ultimate good. It's not even close. But this
demons and spirits have no power in the earth realm. Man is the God of the earth realm. That's why they can't come forward and show themselves to you. Like Satan came and showed himself to Job. He had to get permission from God. Adam, aka man, is the God of the earth realm. We have more power than spirits. They can only do what man allows them to do. They have to come inside of a human being in order to carry out anything on earth, right? And that's why they need people to do their bidding and to pledge allegiance to them. And that's what you're seeing, right? So when you watch certain things, listen to certain things, eat certain things, wear certain things, celebrate certain things, do certain things, you're giving permission to these demons and these spirits to come into your life. And you're saying, I'm okay with it, right? That's how you're worshiping Satan unknowingly a lot of times. But what does this have to do with Kamala and her campaign? I mean, I know a lot of these people perform at these campaigns and these entertainers, right? But if you know they got this type of imagery, why would you be letting them perform at your campaign? Well, that's because behind closed doors, the U.S. government is part of the mystery religion Babylon. And none of them at the top can be trusted. R. Kelly's secret about Jay-Z finally exposed.
I went to Marcy Projects in Brooklyn, New York.
You know what? I was watching this last night.
Stunt after I went viral about all this.
Why doesn't everyone between 45 and 65 claim the $250,000 life insurance policy? The number one reason is
I knew that Ron was not safe. I knew that R. Kelly probably told him some things.
Yes, sir.
Hate seeing ads? Here's how to get rid of them or get paid to see them. Do you know how much of the content you see on a daily basis are actually ads?
Let's get it.
I started doing this podcast after I was released from.
Shout out to Stevie Knight and the gentleman from the last video whose content I'm reacting to. Make sure y'all go subscribe, like, follow, and share their shit too. Subscribe to Concrete King TV. And like if you like this video.
Federal prison. I was incarcerated at MCC Chicago with R. Kelly. So when I got out and did an interview, you know, it was initially to basically publicize the injustices of what inmates was going through in MCC Chicago during the COVID pandemic, because I had initiated a class action lawsuit against the BOP and, you know, the government basically. And R. Kelly was there, and I felt like with him being a big name in the media, I felt like if he would have spoke on the matter, it would have, you know, shined some light on it. All the injustice, not just with what was going on, you know, during the pandemic, but just overall, like it's a lot of injustice of the prison system with people getting incarcerated for crimes they didn't commit. Like me, for example, I was incarcerated for allegedly being a member of a drug trafficking organization based in Chicago, and I'm from Milwaukee. And somehow they tied me to an entire organization, although I only knew, you know, one person out there in Chicago. And because I refused to cooperate with the DEA as an informant, they framed me in a case, and I was incarcerated for something that I really didn't do. You know, so I mean, that's where it all started. I ended up going viral, you know, for what I publicized regarding R. Kelly and Jay-Z. And then from there, I've been on several other platforms. Most recently, Jaguar Wright spoke out about me, you know, in a positive light, which basically put me back, you know, in the spotlight, I guess you could say.
The things that I've heard about Ronnie Bo have come from within the prison system. And there are things that I will not discuss. As many times as I've been incarcerated and the kind of friends that I've made on the inside, it gives me access to be able to have real information about what's going on with certain prisoners and things of that.
You didn't get that information from him because you was in jail. You got the information from him because of your connections and how you've been. I don't know, maybe, but you didn't have to be incarcerated for him to find out about you or for y'all to link up. Maybe I'm off base by even mentioning that, but it just didn't sound right. Like, oh, because you've been in jail enough times and you're able to get access to information like that, and he didn't just get out and seek after you because of the stance that you've been taking online and all the videos you've been doing?
Nature. I knew that Ronnie was not safe. I knew that R. Kelly probably told him some things.
Okay, what did he tell him? Let's get to it. I don't got all morning. Let me move a little bit forward. I'm trying to get to the juicy shit.
Speaking of that, I think they agenda, because, you know, the CIA have an operation on YouTube and they control certain narratives. And I believe they wanted me to say Jay-Z had me shot to discredit me as an informant, so that, you know, I can't no longer lead my culture basically. And to also make Jay-Z appear to be somebody to fear. So as the statements say, like, people had it confused. First they were saying that I told them that Jay-Z had something to do with me getting shot. Now that I basically made the document public, you know, because it was sealed at first, just like my indictment. And I'm gonna speak on that too, bro, because like with my indictment, it's proof that the DEA framed me in the case. It's proof that they used an informant who was probably a worse criminal than I ever been to make false allegations on me.
This is the informant that placed you at Marcy, right?
Absolutely. And for the record, I think that informant is somebody that I did a podcast with, because a lot of these platforms, they try to, they like, people even tell me, like, just say Jay-Z has something to do with you shot, bro. You gonna go viral, your music gonna blow up, your books gonna sell. And I'm like, no, this ain't what I'm here for. You know what I mean? Like, there's other ways to sell records, other ways to sell books. You know what I mean?
I don't have time to get to this. Y'all can check this out on y'all own time. You know what I'm saying? You see the title, R. Kelly's Secret About Jay-Z Finally Exposed. These are supposed to be quick hits. You know what I'm saying? I'm not spending a whole lot of time on this because this is too long. I'm trying to just briefly, and it doesn't get straight to the point. It's not really highlighting what R. Kelly said or what R. Kelly knew, which kind of defeats my purpose. So on that note, unless there's something in this feed right now that's like a quick hit, I'm about to go ahead and wrap it on up. Let's see. He made defense illegal. The player so dominant, NFL changed the rules. Drake and academics humiliated. Doesn't surprise me. How long is this video? What is this talking about? Caught using. Drake and Chubb tried to slide on DeRozan. Academics caught using sliming filter. What? BBL Drizzy and tried to slide on DeRozan. Hold on. Let me get this briefly. Let me briefly get this.
When you put your heart and soul into creating something, you want it to make an impact, to endure, to express something. What does it take to get there?
It's a cute look. 10 years ago. How many times you gonna do the same video before we start saying, boy, where is your wife at? Where are your kids at? What is is going on? If you don't grow up
He's
or
a
at least
tale.
have some creative evolution, because here's the thing, fine, you still. Here's the thing. Fine, you still in the club, but can you do something that makes us think? Tyler, the Creator, is getting bops off being super creative. Drake literally decided to do a music video where, did you not hear Kendrick? He said, I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough, right? I guess he went to the melodies with Camila Cabello. And we were like, we don't want to hear two racists sing in harmony. Can you do something different? Anyway, let's actually get into this. In the video, he was in a mall with his friends and they were driving dirt bikes to the mall. Oh, wow. You the illest, thuggiest, ruggiest Drake. Like, again, maybe it's Canadian tattletales. Let me know. Maybe it's something else, but his idea of what hard guys do, his idea of thug life, I don't know. It seemed like it's like Degrassi, the after years, like Degrassi after college, because it doesn't resonate of American culture. A man that's pushing 40, 45 is sitting there in a mall. And the thing is, you can't even have any girls in the video anymore because you know we're going to ask for ID checks and you don't like that. You don't like that. Anyway, what was his next move? Then he literally unfollowed a bunch of basketball players. Y'all remember that. And everybody was cracking up because he unfollowed LeBron James. Now, I know one person that was going, it's Savannah James. She can't stand Drake. She's liking everything about it, like dogging him out. And baby, we love to see it. But he unfollowed LeBron, talking about, yeah, he's cleaning house. To which I said, well, does anybody really care? Because you got that man's body, you got that man's face tattooed on your body, or his name. It don't matter. He tattooed on your body, baby. It's the death do you part. I know you mad going through that laser removal, right? Like every true Insta baddie, after that tattoo happens, baby, you just feel sad. Anyway, then after that happened, it moved into Drake crying to Me, Myself, and I when he was at a club and nobody cared that he was trying to be all sentimental, talking about, you know, sometimes you're real friends. And then everybody was like, ignoring him, laughing. He's like, yo, cue the music. And he cued Beyonce, Me, Myself, and I. Baby, that's all you got in the end. You, yourself, and those 50 accents. Then, and again, here's the thing.
What is she talking about? I don't care about this. I want to hear what they tried to do to DeMar DeRozan. Hold on. Anybody know anything about that? I'm not going to go look for it right now, but if anybody has a video on that, right, that you want me to react to, or send it to me so I can check it out on my own, and I may react to it if it's, you know, reaction worthy. Let's see. Real reason J-Lo broke up with Diddy, Mark Curry. Yeah, Mark Curry was on Bad Boy. Let's see what he's talking about.
Kim dated Albie Shore. She dated Dallas Austin. But J-Lo, I don't recall her dating too many other people before Puff because she had just came from In Living Color. So he really, really liked her. He really, really liked her. Once he got into that shootout, you know, when they had the shootout at the club, Puff had a manager named Benny Medina. And then Benny Medina told J-Lo that it would probably be in her best interest to break up with Puff because he was going to ruin her career. And she broke up with Puff. That broke his heart. And then Benny Medina wound up no longer being Puffy's manager, and he started managing J-Lo. So she broke out.
Yeah, we kind of knew that. Yeah, we kind of knew that. Racist Jewish actor calls LeBron fake. Fredro versus Old Dirty. ODB slapped Fredro Starr in the face and Fredro pulled his gun out. ODB hit by Fredro. What? What?
I guess that's why my heart colder than the rain there. Nah, my heart colder than a snowflake. They sell it Snow White, the same color as Colgate. Mixtapes, DVDs, it's my era. It get real out here.
DVD Era TV.
What up?
Shout out to DVD Era TV for this story I'm reacting to.
DVD era TV back at y'all with another one. Y'all know the slogan. Let's get straight into this one. Now, the late ODB and Fredro Starr, definitely legends in the hip-hop game. One being in Wu-Tang and the other being at Onyx, two of the biggest groups in hip-hop history. But before Onyx and Wu-Tang started making music together and gave us joints like The Worst, it said that it was beef behind the scene between the two crews. Now, we all know ODB was a live wire that had no filter, and it seems like an altercation Old Dirty had with Fredro sparked beef between the Wu and Onyx. Now, when the story is spoke on, it's never made clear exactly what year it happened, but I'm sure it was in the 90s when both crews was at the height of their career. Now, according to Fredro Starr, he said he would be in Club Palladium along with Sticky Fingers and another affiliate, and supposedly ODB and his crew came in and ODB would start grilling Sticky Fingers. Now, Sticky Fingers and ODB would have a grilling match and exchange words. Fredro Starr would jump in and say something to ODB, and supposedly ODB went in Fredro's face and mushed him. And according to Fredro Starr, after ODB mushed him, he'll punch ODB in his face, and after that, ODB was kicked out of the club.
Why he gonna put his hands in my face and try to mush it? So I'm like, I did what any real nigga do. You know what I'm saying? Boom! Hooked off on it. And they go like, well, I will kill you. They kick ODB out the club.
But Brooklyn Zoo member and ODB affiliate Buddha Monk remember things a little different.
If you're gonna tell a story, tell it right. You know, and Dirty and all of us was on the floor dancing. I got drinks, you know. Don't roll up on a man with his head down and be tapping him and all that. So Dirty like kind of flung back. And Fredro on him was like, yo, what you doing? It's me. And Dirty, all I seen Dirty do was smack him. Then all of a sudden, I seen Fredro turn around and go to the bag to Sticky and get a hammer.
Now, jump in my comment section and tell me who y'all think telling the truth. Do y'all think Buddha Monk is telling the truth that ODB smacked Fredro Starr and he went and got a gun out his bag? Or do y'all feel like Fredro Starr telling the truth? ODB mushed him and he punched him in the face. Which one y'all feel telling the truth? Now, Buddha Monk, the affiliate of ODB, said he was actually the one who went to Fredro and told him not to use the gun because it wasn't a good idea. Now, according to Fredro, he said this whole incident led to Onyx and Wu-Tang beefing behind the scenes. He said it wasn't spoke about publicly, but behind the scenes, it definitely was tension between the two crews.
So now it's the beef between Onyx and Wu-Tang, but nobody really knew about this shit.
Now, according to Fredro Starr, a few months after this whole altercation, they're running to ODB and his crew again at the Jacob Javits Center at a car show, and they actually got to speak to ODB, and ODB would apologize for what he did in the club. Now, supposedly, Fredro Starr said that ODB reason for starting all of this drama in the club that night is because he thought Sticky Fingers was another local rapper named King Just.
But to me, Sticky and King Just don't look alike.
I know you lying.
Whatever the case may be, me and ODB, you know what I'm saying, we shook hands like some real niggas.
Now, ODB's affiliate Buddha Monk said he never recalled ODB apologizing for the situation, but nevertheless, Onyx and Wu-Tang did go on to make music with each other and work together. And it's also said that Leo Cohen got the two to sit down with each other and put things behind them and go on to do the Survival of the Illest tour together. Now, rest in peace to ODB. He's no longer with us, so he's not here to tell his side of the story. So we basically going off of other people that was involved with the situation and how they remember it happened. And also, these situations be 20, 25 years ago, so it's possible to get a few situations mixed up and not actually remember exactly what happened. But Wu-Tang and Onyx is good now, so this is all water under a bridge. But anyway, if you're a fan of these old hip-hop stories, tell a friend and tell a friend about my page. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. More content coming, and I'm out. One.
And I'm out too, y'all. I got things to do. Gotta you know what I'm saying, shower and shave. Get my day started. Once again, it's been Morning Scroll with Pac Lawton, Concrete King TV. Appreciate everybody who gives this day attention, eyes and ears. Yeah. And let me know if y'all think I should keep this thing going, this Morning Scroll. And if y'all want me to react to any other videos that y'all got or that y'all find and y'all want to see me react to it, go right ahead. I don't have a problem with that. It's been real. Like, subscribe, share, follow. And I hope that y'all really took from this what y'all was supposed to. And that because the moral of the video and the key points is, remember, the presidents are all related, right? Elections are fake, right? They're Plantagenets, right? Now go look up the Plantagenet family and find out who they really are and why that's significant, right? And the other thing is that these people in the industry, they are devil worshipers, most of them, right? And they all follow the same religion, the mystery religion Babylon. That's what the industry follows, the so-called Illuminati. That's what the Plantagenets follow. That's what all of this demonic shit all goes back to. It's all linked together. And y'all should be able to make a correlation between these videos. Y'all got to read between the lines of what a nigga really showing y'all. So that's the same energy that Diddy and all these celebrities serve. And that's why it's more than just about the freak offs and about the sexual perversion. This shit is all demonic. It's all part of a secret order. And it's a religion. So if I let y'all go on that note, peace has been real. Just share this shit.